I recently saw the latest Marvel film, Shang-Chi. TikTok provides me reason to believe the platform should be cancelled. And finally, Steve from Blue's Clues finally comes back on the show for Blue's Clues' 25th anniversary. I am Luke Crotzer, and this is The Luke Crotzer Show. Before I begin, I would like to remind you if you have not yet subscribed to The Luke Crotzer Show, I do recommend that you do, and be sure to click the little bell icon, that way you won't miss any of my new content. Alright, on with the show. Last weekend, I decided to check out the newest addition to the Marvel films, Shang-Chi. And I have to say, I didn't have high hopes going in, mainly because of Disney's woke ideology in recent years. With that said, I'm very pleased to inform you that I was completely wrong. I actually enjoyed this film more than I thought I would, and for many reasons. Now, before I get into it, I will want you guys to know that this is going to be a non-spoiler review, so there's no spoilers, I promise you that, so there's no need to skip ahead. First off, I really enjoyed that this was a very well put together action film. What you see in the trailers is exactly the type of cinematic, live action, butt-kicking movie you get. Every fight scene was amazingly choreographed, and even in the CGI fights, they still looked very well choreographed and realistic. Secondly, it wasn't just an action-packed film. It also gave us a pretty good storyline as well. The film was able to find a good balance between the main story and the action scenes, though I definitely enjoyed the action scenes more than the plot. Thirdly, I really enjoyed the characters. The acting in this movie was very spot on. When I saw all the characters interact with each other, I could see the emotional and comedic chemistry they all shared, and I think it was very well casted. With that said, the best part about Shang-Chi was how it was able to hold its own ground as a film. We all know that Shang-Chi is an MCU film. However, if we take that factor out, the film would still do well regardless, because that's how great of a film it was. It didn't need the power of the MCU to boost its popularity. That's what I enjoyed the most about this film. It was a solid standalone that hopefully continues to, for a little while, stay that way. I feel that in our current society, we now have the ability to label anything racist. And what I mean by anything, I mean anything. It's gotten to the point where people are calling things racist for the most absurd reasons. Hence, our next segment. So, the Daily Wire posted a video on Facebook, and the post consists of a variety of videos from TikTok that features a variety of people stating their opinions on what they believe is the most racist things in America. But before I show you the videos, I first want to inform you of the very definition of what racism is. Racism, by definition, means the belief that different races possess distinct characteristics, abilities, or qualities, especially so as to distinguish them as inferior or superior to one another. So let's see if these TikTokers know what they're talking about regarding the actual definition.
Okay, so I'm researching where glasses and when glasses were invented. So you might be asking why the fuck are you doing this stuff? Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have no nose bridge. It just goes over. And I'm wearing glasses and with nose pads. And if I take off my glasses, there are literal grooves in my face because of the nose pads. So what's my thesis? So I pulled up a couple tabs, and guess what? All of them say something in Europe. Now tell me that is not racist. The origins of glasses assume that you have a nose bridge high enough, and guess what? If you don't, you have these little, replacements, alternatives. But if I have to have physical pain from not having a nose bridge and something I can't control, that's racist.
Interesting, right? According to this lady, glasses are considered racist because they were made by white Europeans that had giant nose bridges on their faces. Made sense. I mean, she doesn't even explain the evidence of her findings besides providing skin tone. So, I'm obviously not sure how to take her seriously. And as for her complaints about the glasses hurting her nose, maybe she should spend a little more time looking for solutions rather than looking up why glasses are racist. With that said, I'll help her out with a few solutions. I mean, I'm no expert or doctor, but I did wear glasses from a young age before changing to contacts. I'll also note that I share the same level of discomfort as she expressed in her video with the glasses present on her nose. I just looked for a way to solve the problem, like getting different styles of glasses without the pieces that press on her nose. She could also look for contacts, like I decided to. And finally, when she's of age, she can pursue one of types of eye surgery. So, TikToker 1, if you find this video, hopefully you can find a solution to your problem and stop wasting time trying to hate the inventor or inventors of glasses. Yes, I didn't even take the time to investigate this really dumb stance. Okay, now on to TikToker 2.
You want me to stop eating watermelon on camera because I'm black?
Yes. Yeah. What's not clicking? In America post-slavery, post-emancipation, black farmers were only allowed to grow watermelon. People associated the fruit with uncleanliness because it's so messy to eat, and laziness because it's really easy to grow. And of course, white people weaponized this against black people. And this is like, well into the 20th century. People who saw things like this are still alive. So to sit there and act like you're just eating watermelon innocently, girl, bye.
Okay, so this lady actually provided us with some historical relevance when presenting her stance. With that said, her information was very vague and lacking much historical considerations and context. From what I could extract, this woman is attempting to say that eating watermelon as a black person in today's society is completely inappropriate because there were racist people that were white decades ago and that did racist things pertaining to people that were black and the watermelon farming industry. Well, I can certainly say that when I'm eating a watermelon, I'm not thinking about racism or the watermelon being a symbol of laziness or uncleanliness. I'm just eating a watermelon because I think it tastes good. Call me crazy, but historically speaking, many bad things, and I mean a lot of bad things, have happened to a lot of people. But we no longer live in that time of that particular racist watermelon situation. And it has no relevance to what is happening today in 2021. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't learn about such events in our history, but getting emotional and upset at people enjoying watermelon, it seems kind of ridiculous. And I don't think that makes the watermelon or even the eaters of watermelon racist. Anyways, on to our final TikToker. Maybe this one will have a little more sense.
If you're seeing this, you've reached Classical Music is Racist TikTok. The fact that classical music, which is really the music of 18th century Western European cis-straight white male composers, is valued as the highest form of art music in America is an example of white supremacy. Those who go to college to study music will spend countless hours studying music theory, Western music history, and more, and most schools only have one class requirement or no class requirements for world music. This means that educators are woefully unprepared to meet the standards of understanding global interdisciplinary and 21st century connections with music. Task forces like this one are arguing that the music major needs to be changed to be more all-encompassing and actively anti-racist. But in the meantime, those who are music educators have to struggle and wrestle with the question, how can I be actively anti-racist in teaching music in a system that values white supremacy?
Well, I did say maybe. So, I'm going to try and abstract what this lady is trying to get across as best I can. I think this woman believes that because classical music originated from a variety of white composers that participated in slave trade or slave ownership, then that means classical music is somehow a form of white supremacy. I'm sorry, but how does that make any sense to anyone with common sense? Even if a composer participated in any form of slavery during his life frame, that wouldn't make his music racist. I mean, think about it. Have you ever heard a single racial slur or insult in classical music? Of course not, because the most popular classical songs that I know don't even have lyrics in them. You also have the fact that there are a ton of things that are still used today that were created by some random white guy. I mean, think about it. Do you look at lights and say, can't use those racist things? Or maybe, that AC is blowing a lot of racist air in my house. No. You know why? Because it's dumb. So, her claim of racist classical music in her ears is just insane. All of these TikTokers are insane. And the saddest part is, they actually believe in what they say. I understand that many out there seem to want to find historical racism and apply it in the context of today's society, but I say, instead of looking for and labeling everything racist, maybe we should remember what the actual term means and use it in the correct context. So, a post by Steve Burns from Blue's Clues has been going viral this week, and you guys know I have to talk about it. As some of you guys know, he was the original host for Blue's Clues, but if you guys didn't know, he has finally returned to the show for the 25th anniversary special. We all thought we would never see this character again after he left the show years ago, but we were wrong, because he's finally here, and he has a message for all the people who watched him search for things with good old Blue.
Hi. You got a second? Okay. You remember how when we were younger we used to run around and hang out with Blue and find clues and talk to Mr. Salt and freak out about the mail and do all the fun stuff? And then one day I was like, oh hey, guess what? Big news. I'm leaving. This is my brother Joe. He's your new best friend. And then I got on a bus and I left. And we didn't see each other for like a really long time. Can we just talk about that? Great. Because I realized that was kind of abrupt. I just kind of got up and went to college. And then look at you, and look at all you have done, and all you have accomplished in all that time. And it's just so amazing, right? I mean, we started out with clues, and now it's what? Student loans, and jobs, and families. And I wanted to tell you that I really couldn't have done all of that without your help. And in fact, all the help that you helped me with when we were younger is still helping me today. I guess I just wanted to say that after all these years, I never forgot you. Ever. And I'm super glad we're still friends. Thanks for listening. You look great, by the way. Whatever it is you're doing, it's working.
Now, that's not the only video that features Steve. In the Blue's Clues 25th anniversary special, the show decided to play a song that features all the hosts of the show during one big performance. Here's the video.
It feels like just yesterday, Blue first asked us to play. Striped shirt, notebook, but that wasn't all it took. Through the seasons, through the years, there's a reason we are here. For every clue and every song, someone's been there all along. Through rain and sunny days, yeah, who was always on the case, yeah. Ooh, you can't spell blue without you.
Wow. I gotta admit, it's not that bad. Now, it's not enough to make me cry like everyone else on the internet, but it was a good sight to see. It also still isn't enough to get me to watch Blue's Clues again. Never gonna happen. Old Blue and I have drifted apart over the years. I mean, Blue decided to go woke and dance around with drag queens, and well, here I am talking to you guys on this show. I've grown up from my childish ways, and I guess you can say that I've learned how to find things on my own. So, I guess it's time to say, take care, Blue, and farewell. Well guys, that's our show for today. If you enjoy my content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to click the little bell icon, that way you won't miss any of my new content. Anyway, I wish you all a great weekend, and I will see you all next Friday. I'm Crotzer, and thank you for joining me on The Crotzer Show. Peace out, guys.